What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco. Look, I just came off of a live with my guy Gail Sanders from Fourth and John. If you did not check that out, please do check it out. It was a lot of fun. But a lot of people were talking about the Colts apparently are offering 2 first-round picks and a player. I'm not 100% sure who the player is. People were asking my opinion on it. If the Bears are out and that's what the offer is, look. I've said a long time ago, I'm not necessarily willing to give up Carson Wentz for nothing, and I'm definitely not giving up anything along with Carson Wentz just to get him out of here. I feel as though we're going to lose money either way, right? Obviously, it's a lot more if we do keep him past March. I want to say it's 19th. But look, he has value. And if it's a third-round pick that it ends up being that we don't have to give anything up with that, with Carson Wentz, we just get a third out of Carson, and that's what you got to do. There's no way let me fix this. There's no way that I can see us realistically like doing kind of what the Rams did with Goff. Like, I can't see us being like, all right, here's a first and a third. But you need to give us Wentz and a second, or a Wentz and a first. If we give up anything higher than a third, this is what I would do. If it's a really, I'll throw a name out there. If it's the Broncos, right? The Broncos come to us and they're like, we'll give up our first, but we need something more than Carson. Okay, I'll give you Carson and a fourth, or maybe a third, or maybe a fourth, conditional third type thing, how those work for that first. I think that's fair, but at this point, I am not giving up anything other than Carson, unless you want to take some of these trash players that we got. You could do that. Nathan Gary could go with them. Got a couple different people we can fit in that, whatever they're gonna take, car, train, plane, whatever. We could fit some extra seats. We definitely got some players I wouldn't mind getting rid of, but I'm not giving up high draft picks. So if the Colts think that he's only worth 2 seconds, that's still straight. That's still, in my opinion, that's a decent deal. I can live with that, depending on who the player is. Obviously, we're probably not going to get Darius Leonard or anything. But, off the top of my head, I can't really think of anybody I'd want off their defense. But if it's a cheap young player, I wouldn't be mad. Like I said, I'm looking at the assets more so. I really don't care about getting a player. Like if you add a Darius Leonard in there, would I do Carson and a fourth for Darius and a fourth or something, switch fourths? Me, I would do something like that. I'll probably do something like that to get him off the books. Then you get a solid positional player. That's basically a first round pick right there. That's how I'm looking at it. You know what I'm saying? I can go over a bunch of different scenarios, but that's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it as get assets. You know what I'm saying? You have to get assets. If you look at him as an asset, which he was called a lot this whole offseason, then you have to flip that asset for more assets, all right? I'm not sitting here saying you have to hold out for 2 firsts. But if somebody comes to you and says, listen, I don't think he's worth 2 firsts, give me a second, and maybe we'll give you 1 first. And you know what I'm saying? If they start just, all right, we'll move back. Then what do you think he's worth a second? That's where I think we need to be. I don't think we're in the position to really be like, no, it has to be 2 firsts, or we can't chase a first-round pick. You know what I mean? So don't give up the farm just because you want to get that 1 more first-round pick. That's where I'm at. Get the assets that, he's worth without you having to give up more assets in the process. So, do I think it's going to be the trade? I think that's a more realistic trade than a lot of the rumors I was hearing, if I'm being honest. I've said from the beginning, I don't think that Carson Wentz's trade value is as high as a lot of people think it is. If he's to restructure, then that's a different deal. But, at the point it is with his contract, I don't see him being worth 2 firsts and a player like Roquan Smith. I mean, that's a dream trade. If it happens, I'll be happy to shut up. I'll be happy I was wrong. But the 2 seconds seems a little bit more realistic. Again, I don't want to give up anything. And I heard that there was a pick on our end attached to it. I heard 3rd round. I may be wrong. If that is the case, I am not with it. Like I said, it just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like you just get what he's worth. Get what Carson is worth. Don't start adding more draft picks. We need all the draft picks we can use. All right. Like I said, nothing higher than the 3rd round. I'm not giving it up. But look, if it's 2 firsts and, just for Carson, I'm down with that. You could keep your player. I'm down with that. If it's just 1 second, not 2 firsts, excuse me, 2 seconds. I'll take the 2 seconds, keep your player. Even if it's 1 second, it's all right. Keep your player. If that's what you think he's worth, whatever, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, if that's the highest offer that we're getting, I'm not saying just give in to the first offer you get. But once you realize what his value is and you realize what your best offer is going to be, so you pull the trigger as long as it's not going to cost us more draft picks. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care if Carson Wentz is on the bench next year. I know Carson probably doesn't want to be, but realistically, I'd eat that money before I gave up more draft capital just to get him out of here. That's where I'm at. So you guys let me know what you think. Like I said, I heard it was 2 seconds and we would give up a 3rd and Carson Wentz, and they'd be adding a player. I don't know who the player is. You let me know if you guys would do it. Shout out to everybody. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let's get to 1,400, man. We're very close. I'm trying to get to 1,400 by the end of the month. But yeah, I love y'all. Other than that, y'all know what it is. Fly, Eagles, fly, and we are out here. Peace!
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.